So here we are in game finally. It took us a little while, but as you can see, I am actually level 60 right now. It took me about 19 hours. I did get to a little bit of a late start in terms of Storm Shield US West, which is the server that I'm on, but I believe this to be the first server level 60. At the very minimum, it is the first clan level 60, which is really awesome. So let's go over all the methods that I use to actually get to level 60 as fast as I possibly could. Let's jump into it. All right, so PC client's still not out, so I am on my phone. So it's gonna be a little bit awkward in that regard, but let's talk about some of the methods that I use to get to level 60 as fast as I possibly could. So first thing I wanna mention is that I actually pretty much did this entirely solo. I did a few group missions, and I also did one raid with Lassel, and I'll go over that in just a moment because I do think it's quite important. But first, let's talk about sort of the gear upgrading process, because in order for us to actually get through some certain parts of the game and do the content as quick as possible, we're going to want to have at least some upgraded gear. First thing is, if you're going to be pay to play, or if you're going to be paying for the battle pass and things like that, I actually recommend that you use your legendary crests as soon as you possibly can. So go ahead and load up an Elder Rift. I've done all of these solo. So you can absolutely do these solo and have no problems at all. And you could do them very early on, pretty much as soon as you unlock the Elder Rifts, which is, I think, around level 30. Use them all, get your legendary gems, and slot them in. Because when you actually go ahead and go to your gear here, you'll see that you can actually unsocket the gems whenever you would like. Okay, I can remove it, and then I can equip it at any time, and there's no downside to it. These actually give you quite a bit of actual upgrades here. You can see 18 combat rating, as well as the bonus, as well as resonance here. And resonance going to give you extra stats. And we'll go over all of this in separate videos because there's a lot of information here. But you're going to want to use your legendary crest as soon as possible to get as much gear stats as possible. Second thing you're going to want to do is making sure that you're going to go to the blacksmith and upgrade your pieces of gear, because these actually upgrade sort of, you could think of it as upgrading the slot. So if you upgrade this chest piece, you can actually transfer the rank that you have here, which is 4 right here, to a new chest piece when you actually get that chest piece. That is very important. Now, all of this doesn't really matter if you actually don't know what to do with all this gear. So let's talk about some of the methods that I actually used in terms of actually upgrading our level. First thing is, when you go through the game, you're going to want to follow the storyline, and you're going to take that storyline from 1 to 30. All throughout that, you're just going to be following the storyline. It's going to give you all the XP that you actually need to get to the next portion of the storyline. Once you reach level 30, you're going to start reaching some bottlenecks. The game kind of places these artificial bottlenecks in the game where the storyline won't actually take you to the next portion of the storyline. You're going to have to do some content within the game. So when you actually see these bottlenecks, it's actually going to happen at around level 30, 36, 41, 46, 51, and 56, I believe, is going to be the actual numbers there. And you're going to see that you're going to have to actually go through and do content on the map, or some challenge rifts, elder rifts, or dungeons. So what I did is making sure that we use the storyline to get to certain of those level progression points, level 30, and the things that I mentioned. But also, and this is the key thing for free to play and pay to pay alike, you're gonna do the battle pass. Oh, there we go. And you're gonna see these activities and quests. As you can see, I've kind of done all of them. You'll see right here, there's some activities that refresh daily, and you'll see these battle points right here. These are the points that go into this level right here. You'll see it's 161 out of 180 right now. So if I were to finish one of these and get the 20 points, it would go to the next level. When you upgrade a battle pass level, you get an almost entire experience bar, which is at the bottom here. You'll see right here, kind of behind this little bar right here, it's going to be yellow for you, an entire experience bar of experience. And so you're going to want to save those to when you actually level up your level. Let's say you're on the verge of being level 31. Well, don't finish off that battle pass level until you get to level 31, get the battle pass level finish, upgrade, basically jump to level 32 immediately, and manage it that way. Also, when you're leveling 1 to 30, do not level up your battle pass at all. Whether or not you're leveling up 14 levels or 0 with the extra version. The extra version doesn't give you any extra XP rather, and it doesn't change anything. You're going to do the same strategy. So you're going to save all of those completions for when you actually get stuck into the basically do something else besides the story parts of level progression. And those other things are going to include, in my opinion, what you should be doing are Elder Rifts and dungeons. So if you do dungeons with a party of 4, it's going to be quicker from what I've experienced. I did them solo and I ended up being the fastest level 60, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Now, what dungeons should you do? Well, there's a lot of options, but what I recommend, a lot of people say, okay, do this dungeon, but I recommend doing the dungeons that are going to be the fastest battle pass experience per time. So you could do Mad Kings. For me, what I actually ended up doing, as you can see from the top here, is Tomb of Fahir, because it lined up with my Crusader's Draw and Quarter ability, and I could actually use the horse at certain points to make it extremely fast comparatively to the other dungeons, and I can level up my battle pass faster than any other dungeon. So you make sure you're picking the correct one. If you're running a Demon Hunter, you can pretty much go with some of the other ones like Mad Kings, even though it's going to give you a little bit less battle XP overall. You can see here with Mad King, it's going to be 15, but it's going to be much quicker for you. And you could go with any of these dungeons here, Pit of Anguish, although that's much later on. Mad Kings, you could go with Forgotten Tower, Destruction End. All these dungeons are perfectly viable. The second thing is Elder Rifts. And Elder Rifts take about a minute or 2 minutes or so, 2.5 minutes, and they also give Battle Pass experience. So they're actually not bad to do, even if you have 0 legendary crests. I actually went about 10 or so levels out of my 30 to 50 through just Elder Rifts and the Battle Pass experience associated with that. The other 10 levels were through various things, including dungeons. The other thing I also want to mention is that you're going to want to do these bounties every day. There's only 8 of them, so you can only do so much per day. But other than that, you're going to want to focus on doing those things. There's one last thing in the Battle Pass that I'd recommend doing, and unfortunately, I don't think I can show it to you here because I've already finished it. Obviously, you're going to want to do these guide missions. That's kind of similar to doing the storyline, but there's an activity in here, like the bestiary activity, and this is a little bit more complicated. When you go through and you farm monsters within the game, you'll get monstrous essence. When you get 10 of them, you can return it to this bestiary and get Battle Pass experience. I recommend doing this at least 3 times per day to get the daily rewards. Granted, you're going to get it as you farm the storyline, but if you're stuck at a level and you're, okay, I want to get this level as soon as possible, go ahead and farm in the outside monsters, find a group, kill them down, kill the elites, kill the gold enemies, and then get the monstrous essence from them and then turn it in that way. So those are all the methods that I use. What I highly recommend you do is focus on those dungeons and Elder Rifts anytime you get into a bottleneck. Don't bother with the challenge rifts. Don't bother with anything like that. When the storyline sends you back to the town, salvage, and upgrade your gear. It seems a little self-explanatory because that's where you're going to be ending up. That's where the blacksmith is. But anytime you end up with a town, go ahead and do that as much as you possibly can. Do not worry. Almost everything transfers from your early game gear to your late game gear in this game. So hopefully that helps, and I'm excited to jump into this game more. I have been up for 23 hours at this point, and I'll probably be up for a little bit more because I'm excited and I'm probably just going to be playing the game more. That being said, let me know what you all think about the game so far. If you're waiting for PC client, let me know in the comments down below because I'm still waiting for that myself. Hopefully I'll be able to stream tomorrow with the PC client, and I'll see you for the next one.